Click on subscribe, click on the bell icon to get notifications from India's smartest channel, TRS Clips. I gotta ask you about veganism because Radhi's one of the famous vegans of Instagram. And honestly, it's something I've turned vegetarian since the last 2.5 years. I felt like getting deeper into spirituality, my body just rejected meat. And I'm Punjabi, so I've grown up eating more meat than you can imagine. But just one day I was looking at that chicken breast and I said to myself, no, this is not going to happen. Gradually gave up all kinds of meat over like the next year. And I've reached a stage where I don't have eggs. I do have a little bit of milk, and I don't know if milk is something that I will give up in the long term. But vegetarianism is something that gave me a lot of gifts, and it's something I only understood after I actually took it up with full force. So I got to ask you about your journey in this vegan-vegetarian transformation.
Yeah, so I grew up eating meat as well. Radhi grew up vegetarian. She's been vegetarian her whole life and vegan for maybe about 10 years now, maybe something like that. But I grew up eating meat, so I've eaten everything. And I became vegetarian at about 15 years old out of choice. So for me, it was very simple. I would, my school journey on the way back from school, I would walk past a butcher's every day. And so I would see the animals hanging in the window. And when I saw that, that was the first time I registered. I was like, oh, that chicken that's hanging there, that's the chicken that I'm eating in my McChicken sandwich from McDonald's. And I remember the first time I came to India, McDonald's had just opened in Bandra. And so I'd gone to McDonald's and, I was like 9 years old at that time or whatever, but it was such a direct link for me. And so I was like, okay, well, I don't want to do that anymore. So I became vegetarian at 15. And then I became vegan when I married Radhi because it was easier to do it with someone who was educated in how to do it in a healthy way. And so I'm not I don't consider myself to be a proponent or a ambassador. I consider myself to be someone who's trying to practice it themselves. And for me, my recommendation to everyone, like you did for yourself, is to do what is right for you at the right time when you really reflect on it, and to do it in a way that's healthy and sustainable so that you feel the physical benefits as well as the moral benefits of it. Because there's, some people become vegan or vegetarian for health and some do it for morality. And for me, it's benefited both. For me, it's benefited from me on both levels. But I really just allow people to come to it at their own time because I grew up eating meat as well. So I don't judge anyone or I don't feel anything negative towards anyone who eats meat. I think it's a personal choice and you have to get there in your own time.
Yeah, 100%. That's something I agree with. And that's also, me speaking as a former meat eater, if someone told me to give up meat, I'd probably get pissed off back then.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So as a newly turned vegetarian, I never throw my ideas on anyone. But what I do like doing is I like sharing honest experiences where I felt like I did have a change in my thought process or the way I perceive the world. And of course, my health as well. I definitely lost some amount of muscle, but in retrospect, it's a decision I would never change if I ever go back.
That's beautiful.
What's it done for you? Like physically, mentally, spiritually? What's that effect been like for you?
Yeah. So starting physically, I actually found that giving up dairy products stopped me from getting ill as often. So like the flu or mucus or bad throats and sore throats and aches. And I used to get I used to find myself feeling a lot of mucus and just feeling I would get unwell more regularly since, thankfully since I've gone vegan, I've thankfully not experienced too much physical ill health. So that's been great. On a mental level, I definitely feel lighter. I feel lighter and clearer. I feel I have more clarity and more, I feel like I have more stillness and less kind of aggression in my life. I've never been a very aggressive person anyway, but I definitely am even more calmer. And spiritually, it's just given me a love for really appreciating animals. It's so beautiful to see equally these incredible creatures and creations and to appreciate them. And to appreciate the life in them, and to appreciate that source of energy in them, that lion or that chicken or that, cow or whatever it is, has life. It feels pain. It feels love. It feels motherly love. If you've never seen a cow caring for its calf, or if you've never seen a kangaroo caring for its baby kangaroo, it's like there's a beautiful joy to watch that. And when you deeply look at that, you start really appreciating that there is that beautiful living force just that we have inside of us is inside of them as well.